Alright, so, I'm really glad I delayed this video since I was able to, refine the deck more and, make it better. But, anyway, here is my current Sky Striker build for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So, I run 2 copies of Max C. I like running 2. I don't like running, too many effect monsters in the deck. So, yeah, hand traps. So, yeah, I run 2. I run 3 Ash Blossom because 3 I feel is necessary. And then to round up my main deck monsters, I run 3 Sky Striker Ace Rays and 3 Sky Striker Ace Rose. I've seen some builds only go for 2 Roses, but I find that without running 3, you tend to brick a lot. The problem with Sky Strikers is that you're only really running 6 main deck monsters that you're playing from your hand. And if you end up getting Ash Blossomed, you're screwed. You're screwed. You're opening yourself up to OTK, you're opening yourself up to a million negates, you're just opening yourself up to a lot of stuff. But anyway, yeah, I run 3. For my one-offs, aside from 1, but for my one-offs, I run 1 Raigeki, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, and 1 Terraforming. Terraforming is so that I can search for the field spell. Reinforcement is so that I can search for the monsters, which, as you can see right here, there are warriors. Monster Reborn, I just like running Monster Reborn. And Raigeki and Harpies are to deal with back row. So, yeah. I should probably go over the effect of these guys, but I'll do that. I'll do that. When I go over these, when I go over the cards, you can read the effects right here without issue. So, yeah. But anyway, I run 1 Pot of Avarice. I like running 1 of these. The main reason why I run 1 is so that I can, get my extra deck monsters back in my, extra deck. But also in case I need some extra draw power, since, as you can see right here, you can only run 1, Kaguri, so, in Master Duel, so yeah, I mainly run 1 to recycle. And let's see, then I run 2 Pot of Desires. This is more or less a Hail Mary in case I need some cards desperately in my hand. I try not to open with this unless I absolutely have to. It's because, I don't want my main deck in my, banish zone. So, yeah, but I still run 2 just as, again, a Hail Mary sort of deal. And then to round up my... No, wait, it's not rounding up my generics. I know that I'm going all over the place, but I want to go over, all the, Sky Striker spell cards together, so, yeah. I run 1 Lightning Storm. I only really run 1 since I feel like only 1 is necessary in the deck. But if I get this opening hand, what I like to do is, I just like to play it and get rid of the back row. Or if they have nothing, I just get rid of the front row. Its drawback is that, I can only use it if I don't control any face-up spells or traps. Or if I don't control any face-up cards, so, yeah. Then I run 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. Again, just for more back row removal. Or as I'm going to be talking about later, in case I need to get rid of the field spell so I can special summon a monster because I bricked really, really badly. But yeah, 2 of these guys, 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. Then I run 2 Called by the Graves. This is so that I can get rid of, any problematic cards, or, again, in case I brick really, really badly and they decide to Ash Blossom me. But anyway, yeah, because, you have to discard, Monster Reborn. You have to discard, Ash Blossom, so you can chain Called by the Grave with it, banish Ash Blossom, or banish Max C, and just negate the effect. But anyway, that's it to round up my more or less generics. Now we're going to go on to the Sky Striker spell cards. 2 Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. You add 1 Sky Striker card from your deck to your hand, except Engage, and then if you have 3 or more spell cards, you can draw 1 card. That is basically the main thing with Sky Striker's cards. The deck is really reliant on having, spells in the graveyard, so that's why I run, more spells than monsters. And I don't run any traps, though there are some people who mention that to run Dimensional Barrier, so I'll consider it. But anyway, I run 2 of these because I can only run 2, and its effect is nice. Then I run 2 Sky Striker Maneuver Afterburner. Target 1 face-up monster on the field, destroy it. Then, if you have 3 or more spells in the graveyard, you can destroy 1 spell or trap on the field. So yeah, another really, really good card. It gets rid of back row, which is, what Sky Strikers need to do the most. You were afraid of the back row. So, but its one drawback is that I have to have a face-up monster in order to destroy it, and no cards in the main spell card zone. Yeah, that's another thing about Sky Strikers. If you can help it, you don't want to play monsters in your main monster zones. But extra monsters zones are good. But anyway, 1 Sky Striker Maneuver Jamming Wave. Target 1 set card on the field, then destroy it. Then, if you control 3 or more spells, destroy 1 monster on the field. This includes your own, by the way, so if you see, they have no set spells and traps, then what you can do is, set, let's say, it's late game, and you have, let's say, Mech Knight Crusadia in your extra card zone. You have a face-up card. You can't use Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm's useless. Set Lightning Storm, activate Jamming Waves, destroy Lightning Storm, and then destroy their monster. So yeah, another good card. Then I run 1 Vector, Sky Striker Maneuver Vector Blast. Vector Blast, I've seen some builds not run any of these. Personally, I run 1 because, it mills the top 2 cards, so yeah, you could risk getting rid of, some good cards for you, but you could also get rid of some good cards for them. And then, if they have a monster in their spell and trap, or in their extra monster zone, which, is usually the case, then you just get rid of them, send them to the extra deck, and then because you're getting rid of a monster in the extra deck zone, you can then special summon Rosé here. So yeah, this one, it's a sort of high risk, high reward sort of deal. I like using it personally. But hey, again, if for any reason I don't need to use it, then I'll just set it and go off of Jamming Wave. Then Sky Striker Maneuver Scissor Cross. Target 1 level 4 Sky Striker Ace monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Or if you have 3 or more spells in the graveyard, special summon it. Another sort of like Hail Mary sort of deal that, you know, again, I just like to use, so yeah. Then we have the field spell, Sky Striker Airspace of Air Zero. Target one card on the field that you control. Excavate the top 3 cards of your deck. I believe it's 3, so yeah, 3. And if you do, you can add 1 excavated Sky Striker card to your graveyard. Also shuffle the rest back in the deck. Then if you did excavate a Sky Striker card, send the targeted card to the graveyard. And its additional effect, if this card is in the if this card in the field zone is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, including your own, you can special summon 1 Sky Striker Ace monster from your deck. And then like you can only use each effect of Sky Striker Air Zero once per turn. Now it's worth noting that you can use this effect, target Ray, use Ray's effect to send her to the graveyard, special summon a Sky Striker card in your deck, special summon a Sky Striker card in your extra monster zone, like a Sky Striker extra monster, I mean. And then if you do happen to excavate a Sky Striker card, because it no longer has a target, then you lose nothing, basically. You lose nothing and gain everything. It's a really, really good kind of broken combo that, hey, exploit to your heart's content. And then Sky Striker Mecha modules. Once per turn, you can target 1 card you control and send it to your graveyard. So you can target this card. So you can like send Air Zero to your graveyard, and then special summon a Sky Striker Ace monster. And then also your opponent cannot activate cards or our cards are effects in response to your spell cards activations. Really, really good. And then, during the end phase, you can set 1 Sky Striker spell from your graveyard up to the number of different effects you've activated this turn. So meaning if you activate like 2 engages, you unfortunately can't set 2 cards, you can only set 1. They have to be different effects, just so you know. But the fact that you can just constantly keep setting cards from your graveyard, that is good. That is really good. Let's see. Then I only run 1 air drones because I can only run 1 special summon a Sky Striker Ace token. And so, yeah, because it's a Sky Striker Ace monster, you can then go into Sky Striker, your Sky Striker extra deck monsters. I then run 2 Widow Anchors. It negates a monster's effect. And then if you control 3 or more spells, you can then just take control of it and then just get rid of any problematic monsters. A good combo to use with this is that you activate it, you target their like link monsters, and then that were special summoned from the extra deck, and then you can either go into like Nin here, you can go into Mech Knight Crusadia, you can go into Axis Code Talker, you can go into a lot of things just with Widow Anchor. It's a really, really good card, and I would run 3, but I can only run 2, unfortunately. Then I run 1 Eagle Booster. It's mostly in case, like, you know, they just decide to target, like, my monster. Like, I have this 100% just to protect my extra deck monsters. And I only really run 1 because I feel like only 1 is really necessary. And then I run 2 Shark Cannons. This basically acts as a third and a fourth called by the grave, except it doesn't negate the effect. I hardly ever use the special summon that monster effect, simply because like I feel like it's not really necessary, but it's still there. And then that rounds up the main deck. And then for extra deck, I run one Kaguri. I can only run one, unfortunately. I want to run more, but I can't. When it's special summons, target one, and keep in mind when it's special summon, meaning off of Monster Reborn, off of being special link summoned. Just in general, if it's special summoned, you can add a Sky Striker card from your graveyard to your hand. I like to combo this off of Engage, and then, it gains 100 attack points for each spell in your graveyard. Amazing. I can only run one of, though, unfortunately. And then, 3 Shizukis. Your opponents lose your monsters your opponent controls, he loses 100 attack and defense for each spell card in your graveyard. Then at the end phase, if this card was special summoned this turn, you can add one Sky Striker spell from your deck to your hand. It has to be a different name from the cards you have in your graveyard, though. And then every single Sky Striker monster is going to have this effect. Or every single Sky Striker extra deck monster is going to have this effect, but you can only special summon them once per turn. So, yeah, as you can see. Then I run one Hayate. I think that's how you say it, Hayate. Once per turn, this card can attack directly. Then after calculation of this card battled, you can send one Sky Striker card from your deck to your graveyard. So let's say, keep in mind it says one Sky Striker card. So that doesn't mean spells, it also means monsters. So if you open with Hornet but no Ace or Ray or Rose, then you can special summon Hayate, and then send Ray from your deck to your graveyard. I seem to forget this effect and always send spell cards, but just know that you can also send the monsters. I'm just a dumbass and forget. Then I run 2 Kayan? I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry, I'm terrible at pronouncing names, but you can target one at this card special summon, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack until your opponent's end phase. So it's worth noting that Ray's effect works if a Sky Striker's extra deck monster gets sent to your graveyard, so the combo would be to special summon Ray, use her quick effect, and then special summon this one, and then special summon this card, target it, then target one of your opponent's monsters, they can attack now, and then each time a Sky Striker spell card is used, gain 100 life points. Honestly, originally I only had one of these, but I saw how useful its effect was, and I decided to run more than 2. So yeah, I decided to run more than 1, so that's why I have 2. I run 1 IP. I mainly don't use it for its quick effect here. I instead use it for its other effect. A link can be used with this card as a material cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. I forget about this effect. Like, a lot. Because I'm an idiot. But basically, you can essentially, assuming that they don't have a kaiju, you can essentially create a nearly invincible Avar Max. I'm saying nearly invincible since it's not quite invincible, unfortunately, but yeah. But yeah, this is a really, really good card. Use it in any Link deck you can. I run 2 Zeeks. Its effect: when it's Link summoned, target one face-up monster on the field and banish it, including itself, which you might think that's bad. That's actually good to banish itself, which I have done, and it just shut down their plays. Like, they couldn't do anything else this turn, during the turn. So yeah, that's why I use it. And then its other effect is you can target one other card you control and send it to the graveyard. This card gains 1,000 attack points. So if you use like Widow Anchor, for example, to take control of, like, let's say a destroyed Phoenix Enforcer, you can send it to the graveyard with Zeke's effect, and then Phoenix Enforcer just does not get its effect to special summon itself back to the field. It's fun to do that. So I run 1 Nin, the World Chalice Warrior. Its effect is that once per turn you can send 1 card from each player's side of the field to the graveyard. This doesn't target. This does not target. So, meaning that, like, let's say, like, you're encountering a card that cannot be targeted, like an Avar Max, for example. Well, you can send, like, you know, let's say the field spell and their Avar Max to the graveyard. Again, this doesn't target. Really, really good to have. Honestly, I don't know why, like, Link decks don't use this card more. Like, it's really, really good, and in my opinion, very underutilized. Then I run 1 Nightmare Unicorn. This one is mostly just to, like, get more spells in the graveyard, but also to get rid of problematic cards on the field. And also, like, in case I don't have the Link monsters, well, yeah, it's one drawback. Yeah, Nin's effect is that one drawback is that, like, it needs Link monsters to summon it, whereas, like, Nightmare Unicorn just needs 2 monsters with different names. So, yeah. Then I run 1 Mech Knight Crusadia Avar Max. Or Avar Max. Well, this guy right here. My favorite card in the game. It cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. Also, their monsters cannot target your monsters for attacks except this one. Then, if it battles a special summoned monster, you can make this card gain attack equal to that monster's attack. Really, really amazing card. I love this, guys. Its one drawback is that it needs 2 special summon monsters special summon from the extra deck, but other than that, amazing. Just amazing. And then finally, to round up the deck, we got 1 Access Code Talker. Opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activations. Already good right there. If this card is Link summoned, you can target 1 Link monster that was used as material for this card's Link summon. This card gains attack equal to that monster's Link rating times 100. Then you can banish 1 Link monster from your field to the graveyard, and then target 1 monster your opponent controls. Yeah. This card is very overused, but for good reason. It's really, really good. But anyway, yeah, that rounds up the deck. I'll have some replays in the description or in the pinned comment down below. But yeah, just that's about it. See ya.